Okay. Chat. Let's talk about what the fuck happened in the past 48 hours, shall we? Hang on. Let me find it. Okay, so Ron John, thank you for the 15. First of all, everything is fine, right? Everybody's safe. Everybody's fine now. Do you guys notice anything different? Do you notice anything different about my hands? No. Some people actually notice. Okay, I'll give you a hint. What about now? Jarn, thank you for the 2 months. I cannot believe this is exactly what it looks like. I'm chilling in Mrs. Room 2 nights ago. I take my rings off because they were just like annoying my finger. I just like put them on the ground. I thought she was gonna play with them like baby keys. And Choppy just eats it. Like, I watched her do it and I couldn't believe my mind. I was like, there's no way. Stompy, I'm sorry. I was like, there is no way. She just swallowed that. There's no way. And then I went, yes, the emu. This is the emu. She swallowed my ring. Okay? So I went and I grabbed her and I opened her mouth and I couldn't see it. And then I was holding her neck and I was holding the ring. I felt the ring. The whole thing. I was holding it halfway down her neck. And I was like, am I going to push this back out of her throat or do I let it go down? And I didn't want to tear anything. So I dropped it. Okay? And so it goes, and I could no longer feel it in her neck. Tipsy, thank you for the $250. Okay. So I dropped the ring. She swallowed it. Tipsy, thank you so much. And you got your action item, which is wonderful. I'm so glad. So this is 11:30 p.m. I call a couple vets. They're like, we only take dogs and cats. We won't take an emu. So we went to this one emergency vet. And it's 11:30. They bring her in at 12:30. There are so many people that have pet emergencies at midnight in the same place. It's actually crazy. So they took her in at like 12:30 p.m. And Matt and I are just sitting in the car. I'm freaking out, like messaging Smalls, which is this vet that submitted her resume to PM. Submitted her resume 12:30 a.m. But yeah, she submitted her resume to Alveus. Casey, thank you for the 25. And I had to turn her down because I was like, we don't have the resources to have an on-staff vet right now. But I messaged her. I was messaging her constantly, like throughout this whole thing. She was so great about it. But we're over $1,000. Thank you so much. This is a long story, by the way, just so you know. So like, gear up. So, to my team, I see a lot of messages in here. Let me know if I need to know something, okay? Because I don't want to read everything right now. So, they took her in at 12:30 in the morning. And then Matt and I are just sitting in the car. I'm freaking out. I have no answers. In my head, I was like, there's no way we can leave it there because it's a foreign object. Maybe there is a way we can leave it there. Maybe that's a thing. Because emus eat rocks for digestion. I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's okay. I wasn't completely sure if the ring was fully sterling silver. And silver is okay, but if there was any other metal in it, thank you. Any other, like nickel or, God forbid it's lead or something, which I knew that it wasn't. I was pretty certain that it wasn't. I was like, there's a toxicity issue. There's the chance for obstruction, or, a blockage that prevents her from being able to go to the bathroom. So I was freaking out and I was like, there's no way she can go under and they can cut her open. So I'm freaking out for 2 hours. And then 2:30 in the morning, they finally call me. We're sitting in the car because all vets are curbside right now. You just have to sit in your car. They come get your animal, whatever. And they call me and they're like, hey, just so you know, we don't have any of the equipment to do anything. We could do an x-ray, but if we do an x-ray right now, by the time you get her to someone who could do something, it may have moved anyway. And I was like, okay, so is there a reason that you couldn't tell me that earlier? And the lady gets mad at me on the phone, and she's like, there are lots of animals that come through, and some of them are just higher priority than others. You know, we have to do them in order of priority. And I was like, I understand that. I'm not saying, why aren't you getting to my animal first? All I'm saying is, telling me that you don't have a scope is something you could have told me over the phone. If you were just going to tell me that all you can do is an x-ray and it doesn't matter because you can't do anything about it, you should have told me that over the phone because it's 2:30 in the morning. And she's like pissed. She's like, she thinks I'm one of those pet owners that's just like, my animal's more important. And it's just, it was whatever. So we got home at 3 in the morning, right? I dragged my mattress into the... rehab room and a blanket. It's 3 a.m. I sleep with Stompy in the rehab room for the night. She's just like laying there because I was like, you know what? If she's gonna die tonight, she's gonna die in my arms. I didn't think she was gonna die. For the record, she was like eating, drinking, or no, I wasn't letting her eat, but she was drinking and pooping and she was completely fine, right? I just wanted to know, I don't know, I just like couldn't have slept if I wasn't in there. So I'm in there with her. The other thing I was thinking is once she swallowed the ring, I was like, now that I know she'll do that, what else has there been in the house? Because she follows me everywhere around the house. What else has there been around the house that she ate that I didn't know that she would eat? You know, like, so I sleep with her, and then that's at like, I fall asleep at like 3:30 with her. I wake up at 7 a.m. so that I can call all the vets because all the vets open around about 7 a.m. So I'm calling vets. First, also, side note, the emergency vet that I brought her to, when the tech came to get her from my car in the crate, she said, what species is this, by the way? And I was like, it's an emu. And she's like, okay. And took her inside. So then I'm calling vets the next morning. I have talked to well over a dozen vets in the past 48 hours. The good news about this whole thing is that I know vets in this area now. Is that a weird question to ask? For a vet, it was a little bit unsettling. For anyone else, no. But for someone that was potentially going to cut into my animal that night, yes. Or that's what I thought anyway. So then I'm calling vets. One of the vets that I called was like, I said, I have this 17-day-old emu. She swallowed a ring. I need to know what to do. Do you know every kind of animal? Is that weird for me to be concerned about that? I also called and told them what it was. Okay, whatever. So one of the vets that I talked to, I said I have an emu, a 17-year-old emu, and she was like, this might be a weird question, but what kind of animal is that? Is that a bird? And I was like, yeah, it's a bird. And she was like, okay, we don't take birds. And I was like, okay, thank God. So I'm calling other vets. I finally found a vet that would take, I meant 17-day, yeah, that'll take an emu. So I bring her to the vet. They do x-rays. I was terrified the whole time that they were going to find something else in her. But this is the x-ray. So all that was in there is the ring, right? And the other concerning thing about this vet was she told me, the doctor, like the vet, was like, you know, this ring is in here, but I'm hoping that it's still in her crop and I can just take it out with hemostats. And I was like, okay, well, that's going to be a problem because ratites don't have crops. So you're not going to be able to take it out. Because she works with parrots, and parrots have a crop, right? It's like, so do birds of prey. It goes into the crop first and then proventriculus, whatever, right? That's like how it works. But ratites don't have crops. Emus don't have crops. And I was like, okay, like, you're not going to be able to take it out of her crop because she doesn't have a crop. So then they did this x-ray. They showed me the x-ray. Everybody at the center was obsessed with her, or everybody at the vet was obsessed with her. They loved her. They all took selfies with her. Great. Like, whatever. And then they told me after they took the x-ray, they were like, yeah, so we did this x-ray, but unfortunately, we don't have any of the equipment to do anything here. But we did take this x-ray. So the only the place that I can recommend that has what the equipment that you need to take this out is 3 hours north. So they give me my emu back, and I drive directly from that vet office 3 hours north to another vet office that's an avian and exotics vet office. So I get there, they take her in, and I got there at like 2 p.m. yesterday. And they had other animals. Thank you for the 3 gifted. They had other animals to take care of all day. So at the end of the day, they stayed after hours to do this because they were worried and we didn't know what kind of metal it actually was. I bought this ring from Etsy in March of 2019. And I messaged the seller on Etsy and I said, hey, I know this is so weird, but my emu swallowed your ring from 3 years ago and I need to know what it's made out of. Because on her website, on the Etsy thing, it's very like wishy-washy. It's like, yeah, they're like plated in sterling silver. And I was like, look, is it a cheap metal and it's covered in sterling silver? I don't care. I bought it. I've been wearing it. I love it, right? Just tell me, please, what is in it. And she finally responded today, and she's like, wow, this is the weirdest customer care request I've ever gotten, but it's 100% sterling silver. And I was like, well, they already got it out, but thank you. And I sent her the x-rays and, like, photos and whatever. But that was the main thing we were concerned about, is the toxicity, because I didn't know what else was in it. So, spoiler, don't you guys want to know that? I said she was okay. Hesitant, thank you for the 7 months. So, after hours yesterday, the vet stayed and tried to get it out endoscopically, which is this. An endoscope is like this little camera thing, you know? A little camera, and you put it down the throat and pull it out, right? So they tried to do it endoscopically last night, and the vet was so frustrated because there was food in the way, so he couldn't see it. After they had knocked her out, he was like, there was food, which was so frustrating because the vet that did the x-ray, there was still crumble in her crate. And I asked the vet, I was like, should I dump this crate out so that she doesn't eat? Should I be fasting her? Or do you think it's not going to matter? And the vet was like, it's not going to matter. I wouldn't fast a bird, especially this size. I think you should let her eat. And I was like, okay, thank you. So there was food in the way. So they couldn't see the ring with the endoscope. So I was like, all right, I'm 3 hours north. It's dark outside. I'm just going to sleep in my car outside the vet office, and they'll try again in the morning. And that's fine. And I told the vet that, and they freaked out. And they were like, please don't sleep outside. Please don't sleep in your car. Like, we feel so bad. Please don't sleep in your car. And I was like, okay, I'll get a hotel. Sorry. So I got a hotel and stayed in a hotel last night. And then this morning, they tried again, and they got it on the 3rd try with an endoscope. Graham, thank you for the 5. Guilted you into getting a hotel? No, they weren't like, you need to get a hotel. Like, they would have let me sleep in the car, but I didn't. I don't know. It was better that I slept at a hotel anyway. How much did you pay for all that? You can guess, if you'd like. 3,000, 8,000, 10,000, 5,000. This is crazy. The first x-ray, $250. Fine, right? A lot less than I thought. Then the second, yesterday at the vet, $859 for them to try the endoscope the first time and to knock her out. And then this morning, all they charged me for her staying overnight and redoing the entire procedure was $120. They fudged the shit out of those numbers. Monkaroo, thank you for the 300. They fudged the shit out of those numbers. They did not charge me an overnight stay. Because if you've ever had your animal, Makaru, thank you so much. If you've ever had your animal stay overnight at a vet, you know it's way more than $120. Sassy, thank you for the 3 months. They just, like, loved her. The hotel costed just under $200, like, with tax. So, it was fine. I just, like, laid in bed, half crying, half freaking out, watching Beat Bobby Flay for, like, 5 hours. And commercials. I have not watched commercials in forever. It's crazy that they only play, like, not even 10 minutes of a show, and then it's the same amount of time of commercials. I can't believe that I used to watch TV like that. What a fucking horrible system. Anyway, yeah, so that's the story. Pretty much.